Welcome to Tenor Tech, where I solve the problems you didn't even know you had.
You begin by powering the phone fully off and ejecting the SIM tray. This prevents shorting when you open it. Next, heat the lower bezel to soften adhesive. Aim for roughly 60 degrees Celsius, then remove the two pentalobe screws beside the lightning port. Use a suction handle and a thin pick to lift the display at a slight angle. You want a hinge at the top so the display won't detach suddenly. Once you have a small gap, insert a spudger to keep it open. Once the display is open like a book from the right, secure it so it won't slam shut. Remove the small screws and lift the metal bracket that covers the battery and display connectors, then disconnect the battery first to isolate power. Now focus on the home button assembly. Apply targeted heat to the lower display area to soften adhesive, and use a thin pick to separate the home button flex from the glass without stretching it. You're removing adhesive, not tearing components. With the flex loosened, gently lift the home button assembly out of the display cavity. If it's soldered to a bracket, desolder with controlled heat or use replacement flex designed for plug-in. Make sure the fingerprint/taptic connector remains intact and free of debris. Once the new or repaired button is seated, reconnect the display and battery, then close the phone and reinstall pentalobe screws. Power on and test Home Press and Touch ID. If Touch ID
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to keep your life in tune.